Ukraine is seeking escalation and war. That's what Donald Trump reportedly fears. According to CNN, this concern is the main reason why the US president refused to provide Ukraine with long-range Tomahawk missiles. Sources told CNN that during the meeting at the White House on October 17th, President Trump spoke to Ukrainian Volodymyr Zelensky in a conversation described as tense, direct, and at times uncomfortable. Trump reportedly made it clear that Ukraine won't be receiving Tomahawk missiles for now. He's worried, CNN says, that Kyiv is pushing for escalation and that more fighting could lead to heavy losses this winter.
It was the latest example of Trump inching closer to allowing new capabilities or applying new sanctions on Moscow, only to back away when Putin intervenes to head it off. In this case, it was a phone call initiated by the Kremlin a day before Zelensky arrived, meant ostensibly to congratulate Trump on his Middle East victory, but which resulted in arranging another in-person meeting.
Sources told Axios that President Trump made it clear his top priority now is diplomacy, and sending Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine could undermine it. The meeting ended suddenly after 2.5 hours when Trump reportedly said, I quote, "I think we are done. Let's see what happens next week." He was likely referring to the upcoming talks between the United States and Russia. One source described the meeting as difficult, another simply called it bad. During the meeting, President Trump also told Zelensky about his recent phone call with Vladimir Putin. He emphasized that the current US proposal for a diplomatic solution is to end the war by freezing the front line at its current positions.
I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today, and we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out. You stop at the battle line, and both sides should go home, go to their families, stop the killing, and that should be it. Stop right now at the battle line. I told that to President Zelensky. I told it to President Putin.
On the eve of the meeting, Andriy Yermak, head of Ukraine's president office, said that Zelensky's top priority was to secure Trump's commitment not just on Tomahawk missiles, but also on other weapon systems Ukraine is seeking. But Trump did not make any such commitments. After the meeting, Zelensky told reporters that the US and Ukraine would no longer talk publicly about long-range weapons. He said the US does not want escalation. Zelensky is not arguing with Trump, who urged Ukraine and Russia to stop where they are. But he reminded everyone it was not Ukraine that started the war, and Ukraine should not be the one to stop it.
Then we spoke about long range, of course, and I want not to make statements about it. We decided that we don't speak about it because nobody wants, this United States doesn't want escalation and etc. So we will be out of the questions about it, out of the answers, sorry, about it. Also we spoke about Budapest. President shared with me their dialogue with Russian side. So we understand for us all the signals from Russians. They are not new, but we count on President, on his pressure on Putin to stop this war.
After his meeting with President Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with key European partners from the coalition of willing. He told reporters that the delay in speaking to the press was because he first held a phone conversation with the group of strategic European partners and EU leadership.
One of the topics of our conversation with President Trump was security guarantees. We are counting on this, of course, and on U.S. leadership. We discussed the issue of security guarantees, and the coalition of the willing is our main European security partner, and of course the U.S. We talked about this. We also talked about air defense because when drones are used to launch strikes, it is of course useful to talk about this.
Zelensky also said his talks with European partners focused on air defense and support under the Pearl program, which channels European funds to help deliver US weapons to Ukraine. At the same time, during these discussions, the United Kingdom proposed working with the US to develop a peace plan for Ukraine similar to Donald Trump's plan for Gaza sector. According to Axios, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer suggested a joint initiative with Washington based on Trump's 20-point peace plan for Gaza. Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte proposed an urgent coordination call between national security advisors from European countries over the weekend. Putin's visits to Budapest could create an awkward situation for the EU. According to Reuters, the Russian leader's trip to Hungary for a summit with President Trump is expected to unsettle Ukraine's allies who aim to isolate him over war crimes. The decision to hold the meeting in a country that formally supports Ukraine and enforces sanctions on Russia surprised many diplomats and analysts. The timing is seen as awkward for both the EU and NATO, given rising tensions over Tomahawk missiles. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban keeps close ties with Moscow, drawing criticism from Brussels over democratic backsliding. Trump said he chose Hungary because he likes its leader, Orban.
Because it's a leader that we like. We like Viktor Orban. He likes him, I like him. It's a country that's a safe country, done a very good job. He's been a very good leader in the sense of running his country. He doesn't have a lot of the problems that other countries have. And so we've decided that we'll be going to be with Viktor Orban, and I think he'll be a very good host.
Despite the International Criminal Court issuing an arrest warrant for Putin over the illegal deportation of Ukrainian children, experts doubt it will stop his visit. Hungary's Prime Minister Orban had previously announced plans to withdraw the country from the ICC's jurisdiction. The process is not yet complete, though legally Putin could be arrested, but officials say it's unlikely Hungary would take that step. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has assured that Putin will have safe entry and exit during the summit.
Of course, we also welcome President Vladimir Putin. We will assure him that he can enter Hungary to conduct a successful negotiation here and then to return home. We are a sovereign country, and there is no need for any consultation with anyone about this issue. We will welcome Russian President Vladimir Putin with respect. We will host him and provide him the conditions to negotiate with the American president.
The European Commission said that current EU sanctions against Russia's leadership do not include a travel ban for the Kremlin chief or the foreign minister. That means there are no legal obstacles to the expected Putin-Trump meeting in Budapest.
Putin and Lavrov under asset freeze, but not specifically under travel ban. So on this was never applied to them. So, as Olaf also has said, for now the meeting has not been confirmed. We will not comment on the hypothetical scenarios, but if this was to happen, in just purely factual, they are not under a travel ban per se.
The Institute for the Study of War says sending US long-range Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine would not necessarily trigger a major escalation. That's the gist of its October 17th analysis. Analysts note Moscow has repeatedly formed possible deliveries as a dramatic escalation, part of a campaign to weaken Western support for Kyiv. Russian state media and officials have pushed alarmist messaging, including veiled threats and even nuclear saber rattling, while offering economic incentives to the US and curbed assistance. But the Institute argues the opposite. Tomahawk could allow Ukraine to strike high-value Russian military targets deep behind the front, inflicting meaningful damage on the aggressor's capabilities. The analysts name concrete targets that Tomahawks could hit, for example, a factory in Yelabuga in Tatarstan linked to Shahed drone production, or the angles to air base in Saratov Oblast, where strategic bombers that launch strikes on Ukraine operate. Strikes on those kind of facilities, the reports say, could weaken Russia's military capability. Institute also notes a technical difference. Tomahawk missiles can carry heavier warheads and travel faster than Ukraine's long-range attack drones. This increases their chances of penetrating Russia's air defense network and hitting well-protected targets. Meanwhile, even without Tomahawks, Ukrainian drones continue to strike targets inside Russia. One of the largest attacks hit the 500-kilowatt Vishkaima substation in Russia's Ulyanovsk region, while airports in Izhevsk and Ufa were forced to suspend operations. The targeted substation is a key node in Volga power grid, linking several region systems and carrying electricity toward Russia's central regions. Flying operations in Izhevsk and Ufa resumed later after temporarily shut down caused by the drone threat. Unidentified drones crossed into Russian airspace overnight on October 18th, striking a major power substation in the Ulyanovsk region. According to Russian monitoring channels, the drones had been detected flying over Russian territory since the previous evening. Later, Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation confirmed that the facility had been destroyed, describing it as one of the key elements of Russia's energy grid. Russian authorities claimed that they shot down 41 Ukrainian drones across 12 regions overnight, including several over Bryansk, Kaluga, and Moscow regions and 6 over the Black Sea. That's it for now. Thank you for watching and please don't forget to subscribe.